Welcome to the Four-Wheel Drive Adventure Show. Today, my family hire a motorhome and hit the Nullarbor. It was quite the road trip. After a few weeks research, we wanted to take the kids on a really memorable road trip experience. So we flew to Victoria, packed up an Apollo motorhome and started the journey back to WA on the road. Now, the part that I loved the most was the Nullarbor, and we took some cameras. We've got some tips we want to share and some memories we want to show you too. So here's the start of our trip in South Australia. This marks the start of our journey to tackle the Nullarbor. We kick it all off tomorrow morning with the kids and this amazing spacious camper van thanks to Apollo. So there's a lot to do ahead, lots of stops to make along the way, but stick with us and we look forward to documenting it all for you. So take me where I wanna go. With a quick and easy pack up, we're all ready to hit the road. We loved driving through Victoria and South Australia, but really there's no place like home. We're back in WA and we're on the Nullarbor. This Apollo motorhome has the best setup. Have a look at that. So much space and a roof up the top too to sleep on. Mr. Serious is behind the wheel listening to his own music, but that's okay because he needs to be in concentration mode for the drive ahead. 112 k's till we hit our first stop at Ceduna to fuel up, get some food for tonight, and then we're on to Border Village Roadhouse. Travelling with kids means make the most of your stops and sights along the way. Just past Ceduna is the country town of Penong, where you can fuel up again and grab a bite to eat if you need to, and check out this amazing array of windmills. We're going to get the kids off the iPad now and get them to come and check this out. Next stop is the Border Village Roadhouse. Do you want to drive or I'll drive? I'll drive. Travelling Australia in a motorhome is so easy to do and a great way to see the country. So we are planning to do the Nullarbor over 2 to 3 days and take in the unique landscape and some of the quirky little landmarks that we'll see at the country towns as well. We spoke to quite a few travellers that have done this before at our last caravan park, and some advice that we've taken for the trip was to carry extra fuel. A lot of the petrol stations are over 100 k's between each other, so not many opportunities to stop. Another thing was drinking water and extra water as well as that to make sure you've got enough water supply in your van. Food, of course, snacks for the kids, and download movies ahead of time on their iPad because you really do drop out of range in some places and you don't want to be able to have to rely on reception. You can be totally off-grid in a motorhome like this and explore stress-free knowing you've got everything here you need. I'm pretty sure Nullarbor is Latin for no trees, but there's a tree there, there's a tree there, there's another tree there. Driving on the open road is so easy. You admire the nature, take in the space and that sense of freedom. What is it, Ollie?
Camel, kangaroo, wombat.
Camel, kangaroo and wombat. Which one's the camel?
That one.
The big one. Do you reckon we'll see a camel? No. Do you think we'll see a camel? Can confirm we did not see a camel, but what a story for the kids. Okay, so we've been on the road for 3 hours and we finally reached our next stop, which is the Nullarbor Roadhouse. This place is quite iconic because they have the old roadhouse still here and the new one too. Lots of free camp spots we spotted along the way, which is quite cool to see. You can pretty much pull over far from the road and rest for the night if need be. We opted to go with the Roadhouse stays just because we've got the kids, and I took comfort in knowing that there would be other people around and all the essentials if we need. So about an hour from here is our destination for tonight, which is the Border Village Roadhouse. So after we grab some fuel and a bite to eat, we will be on our way. Driving through Victoria and South Australia was beautiful, but really there's no place like home and we can't wait to do the bottom of WA. Well, we're sharing the driving now. I've carried us for half the day, but it is important if you're feeling fatigued to switch around and share the load on the road.
It's also important to keep your wife happy when you travel. My wife gets car sick going 1k down the road in the passenger seat and can't handle the 2 kids in the back, so she wanted to drive.
I can handle my children. Babies, do you want Mummy to come sit with you in a second? yes, I do get car sick, but it's not because I can't deal with my kids. Introducing Fun Mum. I spy with my little eye something beginning with K. Can you guess? Road trips are such a great learning experience for kids, answering all their curious little questions. All right, kids, we've had a little stop here and we are on top of a cliff. Do you know what this is? This is the very bottom of Australia.
Is that City Beach over there?
What's that?
Do we have to get in a boat over, and is Australia over the beach?
Well, we are on Australia, sweetheart. This is called the Great Australian Bight. Can you say that?
The Great Australian Bight.
Just past the stopover at the Great Australian Bight, we had an overnight stay at the Border Village Roadhouse. The days of driving were long, but broken up with a bit of sightseeing and a lot of questions from the kids. It really did make for a memorable experience. This is where we stopped overnight at the Border Village Roadhouse. Fresh coffee in the morning, which is perfect for a quick overnight trip. And Georgia and Daddy went over there to see the big kangaroo, which we'll show you in a sec. What's the kangaroo holding?
Vegemite.
Vegemite, he is. All right, this is the setup last night. So pretty basic campground. It offers simple amenities and power, which was really great because we got to charge up all our equipment. So we're all packed up and headed for the border checkpoint. I think today's probably going to be the biggest stretch of driving we've got to do because we're going to try to make it into Baladonia, and Luke's ambitious that we might even get to Esperance today. We're just going to see how the kids go in the drive. So let's see how we go. Well, Luke's ambitious. We're going to get through a 9-hour drive with 2 kids today. So let's make the most of those stops and see how we go. All right, toasty pit stop at the Mundrabilly Roadhouse in Western Australia. We've made it and the toasties are really good. The petrol stations along the Nullarbor are few and far between. So to ease the anxiety, my advice would be that when in doubt, just fill the tank up and get going. A lot of the roadhouses where you pull over and petrol stations that you stop at along the way have got great little setups for kids so they can get out of the car and stretch their legs. This one at Kagoona has a playground and we are making the most of the pit stop because we're hoping to get to Baladonia by the end of the day and we want them to keep calm for the ride ahead. The kids have requested 2-minute noodles on this stop and we want them to get away from an unhealthy feed, so Daddy is on the pit stop with the 2-minute noodles. Nice work. Nullarbor noodles. You right, George? Baladonia essentially marks the end of the Nullarbor journey, heading into the west. So we have stopped at Baladonia for a break. We have reached nearly the end of the Nullarbor and we're contemplating whether to stay here tonight or try to continue on to Esperance. But until then, there's an awesome museum here with old artefacts and history of the area, including how camels got to the Nullarbor. So the kids are just having a little look around and then we'll make our decision on what to do next. And although there's still a way to go to get to Esperance, I can't believe we've ticked the Nullarbor off the family bucket list. And we had the best time. Another stop, another epic little playground for the kids. How good. Go down, Ollie. How fast does it go?
That was so fast.
So cool. Well, the playgrounds are definitely helping to keep the kids calm and maybe, just maybe, we can make it to Esperance today. So we've made the executive decision as a family that we're going to finish our Nullarbor journey on day 2 in Norseman, fuel up and then head south to Esperance. As you can hear, the kids in the back are exhausted. It's been a long day of travel, but we've had adequate stops along the way and rests and we just kind of want to get it done now. We've seen enough, haven't we?
The kids have lost it. They've had enough. They want a modern day caravan park with plenty to do. They're not into the sightseeing like we are, so we'll punch out the hours and the kilometres to Sabo. They'll wake up in Esperance and be raring to go tomorrow morning.
There's 2 ways you can do the Nullarbor. You can take it slow, free camp, enjoy the sights. There's cliffs, cave exploring. You can even play golf along the Nullarbor if you want, or you can try get it done in 2 days with adequate rest and an overnight stay. And that's the way we're doing it, and we're looking forward to exploring Esperance, which is something we've never done either. So it's obviously a bit of a no-brainer before you hit the road to make sure everything's okay with your vehicle. You've got adequate water, fuel of course, everything's locked and secure in place in the camper van, like drawers from sliding open, gas bottles are switched off, and your tyre pressures are good to go too. One thing we've just noticed on our camper is that the engine oil level is just about on the minimum line. So we're going to head into the survey now to grab the right oil for this car. So probably just a bit of a handy tip to know what engine oil your vehicle takes, and keep an eye on those levels before you hit those longer journeys. All right, so let's take a look inside the setup that's been our little home for the past few weeks. So this is our day setup. We have a nighttime setup as well, obviously, but through the day for more space, we pop some storage stuff up there on the top bed. We set this shelf up here so we can pop our bags and everything, which clears up the table here where the kids sit. Kitchen, of course, sink, oven, stovetop, and even a microwave. And we've got heaps of pantry space up the top here, which is great. A couple of toys from the skill tester that the kids won. Over here, the big bathroom, of course, perfect size. And the back bed, we pop our suitcases with our clothes on there through the day when we drive, and you can actually pull that curtain across for a bit of privacy. The best thing about this van is it sleeps 6 adults, and there's only 4 of us, of course, but this would otherwise be the second bed. But to stop us from having to collapse the table and remove the children's seats every day, we use the back bed and we use the bed up the top to sleep on for the 4 of us. So it's really spacious up here, comfortably fits at least 2 adults or 1 adult and a kid. Outside the van, there is an awning that you can roll out, which is great for shade, super easy to set up and pack down. You got your gas storage, plenty of storage outside in this cupboard here. We've got some extra fuel, our kids' floaties, our chairs. It's like having a little outdoor shed. We're finally on the last leg of our epic journey. The sun is going down as we arrive in Esperance, and it makes our big day of driving totally worth it. What an amazing stretch of coastline we have down here in Esperance. It really is every bit as good as we'd been told. The beaches are pristine white, and although we didn't catch a kangaroo at Lucky Bay, we really did have the most incredible quality time as a family. Well, amongst the chaos of keeping the little ones calm on those long drives, we got the Nullarbor journey done, and I highly recommend it to you and your family if you're thinking of doing it too. Plan ahead, take time to think of what setup is right for you, and I can highly recommend too the Apollo Motorhome as well. It was great. Now, where to for our next journey? North, south, not sure. All I know is you'll see it right here on the Forward Drive Adventure Show.